because that's literally how human beings work. We rely so much on our senses, and it's such a strong program, and people don't even realize the power of it. That's why if you were ever in a traumatic situation, certain sounds, certain smells, certain smells, certain sounds, certain visuals will affect you. Will affect the way you feel. So that is how powerful your senses are. Not being monitored. This is like just the last one. Oh, I'm shaking it from up there in the sky that's coming to check if like we drink too much or something. So, right, so your senses are extremely powerful, and that's why even if you spend time with a child, they rely a lot on their senses. They want to feel stuff, they want to smell stuff, they want to, it's very, very sensitive and strong still. But over the years, we almost make it weaker, almost in a way because it's our coping mechanism. So certain sounds that annoy you, irritate, you'll kind of block out, or you'll learn how to cope with your senses. But if you truly tap into your senses and you allow it to be as accurate and sensitive and tuned as it was as a child, it'll guide you way better, way better. But with the noise of today as well, with the social media and it's everywhere, our senses have learned to block certain things off because it's just noise. It's literally noise. You can't even think, right? So senses very important, and I'll explain how that works. So you experience the entire world through your five senses. That's how you see it. It's like a TV show or a DVD happening all the time. And we all see the same stuff, or hear the same stuff, but yet we don't perceive it the same. We don't believe the same. Because what happens is in your head, you've got like a computer filtering system. And it deletes, it distorts, and it generalizes. So you get the information in, and that's why you'll find when you go to a braai or even when you talk at work about a staff function or whatever, you will forget stuff that she might remember. You will tell a story different from how Jan remembers it. And generalization is obviously where we get the quotes from, like nothing rules off from hell, or men cheat, or not bad drivers. It's a generalization. So we love putting things and people especially in boxes. And if they don't fit in a box, it makes you very uncomfortable. So you find something to just put in that box because you can't cope if someone's not a boxy kind of person. So that's what we do. That's how we sort. That's how our brain functions. Because it can't handle all the information that comes in, your brain will explode. So it has to sift through it, see what's of value to me that I'll store and program and remember. The rest I'll let go. And how you do your filtering system is because of your frame of reference. So certain things might be more important to you than it is to you. Or how you grew up will influence how you see certain situations or believe it, or take out of it than she would. So that's what it does, all the time. Then once it's made sense of it and it's sorted through it, this is what happens. It creates your map of the world, your perception of things, people, yourself. It creates your thoughts and your beliefs. And it creates your story. No one has the power to create your story. Only you. And you can change it any which way you want. It's your choice. We're both from the film industry, and I see it a lot like that. That you're literally in the editing suite, and you can decide which scenes to cut, which to keep, which to put together, what music to put in there, and that's it. And that's what you do. It's not like you're lying to yourself. The brain does it anyway. But you can teach your brain how to keep what I want, that's going to serve me, make me better, make me achieve, make me happier. Let the rest go. I don't need it. So I can choose what I keep. And you can literally teach your brain to do that. That's basically what NLP does. So I'm going to explain. So obviously, our beliefs have been created, as I said, by a lot of things, like external forces. One moment in time as a kid influenced how you see certain things, or how you believe thunder happens. I mean, I remember my parents were very religious, And I remember when thunder happened, they would say, "Oh, God's angry at you." See? So I was like, "Oh shit." Every time it thunders, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm naughty girl." So, I mean, they tell you stupid things that you believe, and then you start believing, "Oh, okay, that is what I believe. That's the religion. That's the true God. That is." So whatever your belief is, it's your belief. And you have no right to judge someone else's because you haven't lived their life. You didn't walk in their shoes. You didn't experience life the same way they did. And you don't have the same filtering system. So if we approach people with love and fascination, it's my favorite word, and you ask them questions, not because you think you know what they're saying, or you think you know what they've been through, rubbish, you don't know. But ask enough questions to really understand what's in their box, what's in their mind. Who are they? Because you can't assume. You'll make a very, very calculated mistake. So, that cycle, if I was you, I would draw it in your notepad. This changes a lot of my clients' life and thinking. So simple, but it's amazing. So those beliefs, as I explained to you, have been created of whatever, your religion, your church, yourself, school, teachers, bullies, friends, human beings, whatever it is. Those beliefs then create your thoughts. You can't help it, it just kind of happens. So if you believe something, you're going to think it. Those thoughts create your decisions. The decisions you make influence your behavior. Because the decisions you make of where to be, with whom to be, what to surround yourself with, is going to make you behave in a certain way. Your behavior will create a certain experience. Your experience will give you feedback. Remember, not failure, feedback. So whatever you experience will give you feedback. And that feedback will feed right back into your belief system. And that's literally how the cycle works. So how would you guys think you change that? Where would you start to change that cycle?
Thoughts. Beliefs.
Een vriend dit jou mooi geleerd. Man, or was it self?
I do a lot of stuff.
Oh, good. Okay, so
it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed.
Yes. There we go. It's precies dit. So, the only way, if you allow me to neergeskryf, you want that thing again. Ja. Ek gaan foto geneem, maar ek is nie voel. The glue will make sure you don't miss that slide. So, the only way to break this cycle. En ek wil ook amper piepie, so ek gaan vir julle nou die briefjie, ek beloof. Okay, sorry, I can go on with this stuff so much, my husband even got that, please. The only way to break this cycle, soos Jan gesê het, is the changing of your thoughts. That is the only way. You cannot change your belief, no matter how you try. That's why you'll find if you were raised Christian, you'll almost kind of go back to Christianity, even though you go explore. It's like it's just there. It's like you find your roots in the foundation. If you were raised Hindu, Muslim, atheist, whatever it is, you'll explore, but somehow it wants to draw you back, and you can't understand why. It's because it's been ingrained in you for so many years that it became a habit, and it's a program that's set in your subconscious mind. So what will happen if you change your thoughts? It's a simple tweak that you do. And I know it's difficult or challenging to change your thoughts. I'm not asking you to master your thoughts. No one does it, not even me. But be aware of it. That's all I'm asking. Just start being aware of it. Don't let it just run wild like freaking undisciplined toddlers. It's really chaos. So
it's an ongoing battle.
It is an ongoing battle. It literally is. But as long as you're aware of your thoughts, and in moments you can change it, you are way better than someone that doesn't even know about thoughts or how to monitor it. It's a very normal, typical problem actually, and especially women.
Yeah.
I coach women mainly, but that's basic. It's like I'm not good enough. I can't seem to say no, and I overextend myself. I exhaust myself. I don't have enough to give. There's nothing left for myself anymore. Because women especially, and probably too I suppose, but especially women, struggle to set boundaries and say no. We were taught that no is a bad word. It's not bad. You know, if you want to, if someone wants to rape you and say no, it's a bad word. Like, it's not a bad word. No is a very, very normal, perfect word. It tells people what you will and will not accept. That's it. And you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to go, I'm the same even with the social thing. And I mean, Chris knows, and I think Steve knows I love socializing. So for me to say no, there has to be really like a good reason for me in my head. So if I don't feel like going to a social event, because I don't feel like making small talk with people, I know they're going to be interesting and I'm going to really have fun, then I'll go. But if it's like an obligated kind of, you know, and I feel obligated because they were my friend for 2-3 years, whatever, I just simply say, no, can't make it. I don't say no because my child's sick or I have to wash my hair, no. I just say no, can't make it. It's none of their business. So that's the thing. So with boundaries, and it's a process, and there are techniques to do it, by the way. Beautiful ones. And I love watching these women. I actually go to brides or whatever because normally when I life coach them, I become their friends. I can't help it because now I've got to know them so well that I like it's inevitable crossing boundaries, I suppose. But then I see their partners and their partners always say, "Why did you teach her to say no?" Like really? And I'm like, yes. And you watch it go even, like before she would go, okay, honey. And she's like, no. And he's like, take it back. So it doesn't mean you mean. It's not easy. It takes work, not gonna just happen. It's not a fly-by-night thing. It's not a quick fix. Sorry. Hard work. You guys said you like challenges, so I was like, that's bad. Right.
We like results too.
So basically, our thoughts are doing that on a constant basis. It's almost like we don't have control over it at all. It just runs wild, as I said, like toddlers with no discipline, and that is insane. If of you had a play date before with more than your own kids?
Yep.
Yes, you can do whatever you want with your kids, but the others you have to handle with care, and you feel like really disciplining them. So it just, yeah, so those are your thoughts. So basically what a life coach does, or what you can do for yourself if you do the work, just by starting something at least. As I said, there's a lot of NLP techniques, there's a lot, like it's a Bible like this, Oscars, it's like a lot. You can fix anything really that anyone wants to fix. Phobias, traumatic events, you can take them back on their timeline, anything that happened in their life that I don't even realize happened, and you can change it. Then you can't take it away, it's going to be there, but you can help them rewrite the story so that it doesn't have that connotation to it that cripples them for the rest of their life. So it's that perception that you can now change to get us to a thing in future. But basically, what you can start doing from now at least. If you keep a diary or take notes. Funny, I mean, no one does. I know we don't have time.
After my mom read mine when I was 13, I never
You
did
see,
one again.
I can do a timeline technique on you. We can go back to that day, and then you know resolve that problem. Then you will.
I want to know what was in your diary now.
No, I was actually 17. Then I
See,
stopped.
so that's a typical
So I read
female
the diary.
You see, so the diaries are bad. Meantime, your mother was just nosy. That the diary wasn't there. So, I know we don't have time, but if you can and when you can, it takes 5 minutes. Just me, I'm a mom myself, and I'm quite busy. Right? 5 minutes before you go to bed. Just try and run quickly through your day. Quickly. Doesn't take a lot. You don't have to write the whole thing that someone's going to publish. Notes. Just what was my highs, what was my lows? What happened when it was my low? What triggered it maybe? What state was I in? Was I pissed off before with a client and a ripple effect into the rest of my day? Did I fight with my husband or whoever, or my child in the morning, and then it just went? Because if you're in that state, it affects it. And just take note of it. You don't have to be a psychiatrist or a counselor or whatever to do it. So you literally just go through it and you notice the good things of today? It can be a small moment. It can be one happy feeling. It can be a cake you ate. You're like, yes. Whatever it is, try and look for the good things that happened in that day, and will help you focus on that too, and not on the negative only. So just jot it down quickly. A moment of I felt joy.
So you jot down the negatives and positives?
Yes. Because your negatives, you're not going to focus on it. I'll teach you now not to focus on it. But you're just being aware of it. Like people that, I think that's what people get wrong with motivational speakers and listening to Tony Robbins tapes and those things. They all have the same thing in common, but people kind of think you have to lie to yourself going, oh, I am successful, I am. You know, your car. It's great. Eventually you're going to kick your car in and say it's lying. So the thing with affirmations is not to say something ridiculous that you know you're not. That's why it's important to find who you are. So go focus on the things that you really do know is a resource of yours. That's a characteristic of yours that you do have, that can serve you. Whether it's honesty, courage, bravery, whatever it is. And those are your affirmations that you focus on. Use what you have and focus on that. So that when your weaknesses come into play, and those fails that we all have, feedback, then you could go, you know what, I am brave, I am. You know, do this fail with a epic bow, and it's fine. You take the feedback. That's where affirmations come from. Is to know who you are. List those things as many times as you can. You can never list it too much. Well, too many times. In my English people. So, jot down what was your highs, what was your lows, and just think what triggered it. Because it's sometimes someone, and it's not their fault. When you go look, you'll find the problem with yourself, because no one has the power to affect your reactions. Only you. So go look at the triggers so that you know when they're coming again, and you're better prepared for it. It's just being aware of your thoughts. So that your thoughts know, because your subconscious mind knows, it was designed to protect you. It was designed to serve you. It was designed to lead you. But you just didn't discipline it for so long that it's doing its own thing. It's chaos in the playground. So when you start doing small things like this, it goes, oh whoa, there's more discipline in this house now. Okay, new system. Let's concentrate. So when you do this, your mind knows that you are now starting to be aware of your thoughts, and you're going to start taking control of it slowly but surely. And it's not going to just do its own thing. And the main thing you do is be aware of your thoughts. Are they away from or towards? So a typical example is, who tried to lose weight before?
Oh.
Everyone in this room.
Ja, maar kyk al weer vir jou en ek dog ag, moet nou nie vir my sê jy.
Nee, ek nou bezig om dit.
Exactly.
And I can see a typical thing, and this would be a great example for you. I can name many, but I'm going to mention this one, and then you can draw the conclusion. So, what most women do, they come and see me, because I'm a body coach as well. So, what they do is they have these plans and a strategy, and I'm going, cool. You're going to work at this because you are sabotaging yourself.
Why?
So, they'll put on their fridge, don't eat cake.
And all you do is cake. You don't need the don't eat, you just eat cake.
Cake. Your focus is on cake. So you will come to work and someone will have a cake here and it's not even their birthday. Just because. Now you have to freaking not eat the cake. Then someone will think they're kind because you had a bad day and they'll buy you a cake or a cupcake. Don't eat the cake. Then you'll walk past the bakery on the way to a client, you'll smell the cake. Don't eat the cake.
Wine.
That too. That too. So all of it. Don't drink wine. Don't eat cake. Don't be fat. Your mind, remember I said to you, your subconscious mind is like a child. What happens when you say to a child, don't touch that? It's exactly what happens to your mind. So that is why diversion and distracting a child works so well. So you don't want them to touch this, they're going to break it. You go, yes, look at my toy. But it's not yours. Mommy loves it. Like, and you make it look more amazing, the focus goes from there to here, they forget what they shouldn't touch. But if you say don't touch that, then you're going to touch that. Same thing. So don't eat that cake, your brain sees eat cake, eat cake, eat cake. Drink wine, drink wine, drink wine. Be fat, be fat, be fat. That's literally what you're doing to yourself. So just by knowing that and start jotting it down and just being aware of it, because we all have good intentions, but we don't even know that we're sabotaging ourselves. So just those simple thoughts and goals that you're trying to set for the next day, write it down and then go see how many times you actually do that. It's amazing how many times we do that. It's how we've been brought up. So society kind of teaches us that. Parents definitely taught us that. So we do that. Tomorrow, I am not going to. I'm not going to shout at my kids. I promise you, like 5 minutes later, this is really challenging. So you're setting yourself up to fail. So instead, how will you change that to a towards? So, say for instance, you say, don't eat the cake. What would you say instead to make it a towards thought or strategy to serve you better?
Don't buy cake.
Don't buy cake. Okay, buy cake, buy cake, buy cake.
You'll move away from cake altogether. You'll move it towards healthy.
Ek het net afgespreek, ek is so impressed, ja.
You don't want to focus on the thing that you don't want. You obviously want to focus on the thing that you do want. So you don't want to be fat, you want to be healthy. It's nothing to do with being fat, it's to do with being healthy. So you want to say healthy, slim, whatever. And those are the words you then want to focus on.
Exactly. So that's what you do. So, say for instance, I think a lot of us struggle with impatience, traffic, people, colleagues.
Ach, nah.
Not.
Oh no, I do.
I did a lot of work on that. So, say you want to say don't be impatient. Let's say that, for instance. It's a usual characteristic. So what does your brain see? Be impatient, be impatient. I promise you, every taxi is going to challenge you, every person is going to challenge you, your child's going to challenge you a lot. That day your partner's going to challenge you. Because your brain wants to go look and find something that you're focusing on, and you're saying be impatient. Okay, let me find stuff that can make me impatient. You're really actually sabotaging yourself. So, rather say, I am patient. Even if you're lying to yourself. But I promise you, there was one time, even if it was a split second in your life, that you have been patient before. So you are capable of it. You're not lying to yourself. With certain people, certain situations, at certain times, you have been patient before. You're lying to yourself. You are patient. You're capable of being patient. It's in there. You had it. And that's how you change it. Don't eat cake. I love salad. Even if you're lying to yourself, you do it until your senses follow suit. I've never felt for lettuce and tomato in my life. But you know what? You just activated it, and then all of a sudden your senses start looking for it. It's weird how it works, I promise you. It's not voodoo. I've tried it on myself, really. I'm like a guinea pig to myself. I think Chris can attest to that. Like, I wonder, I'm probably going to touch wood. I'm going to die because I experiment tonight. Because I just want to see what do I do in a situation, or how can I get out of it, or, you know, because then I can actually relate to people and go, yes, you can beat this. So, just try it in small ways. I'm not going to lose my temper with my kids. Saying, lose your temper with your kids, lose your temper with your kids. I promise you, you're going to try your best. Before they walk out that door, you're going to lose your temper with your kids. So change it. And say, today we're going to be on time. I love the fact that my child's a dreamer even before school starts. So you change it to what you want. The thing you fear is what you will become. The thing you try and avoid is what you're putting your focus on, and you'll get more of it. That's why stuff like The Secret, Tony Robbins, Demartini, Robin Banks, those things works. Oprah even. They all have a point. It's the same principle. And that is a small way of how you can change your thoughts. But you won't be able to change your thoughts if you're not aware of it. It's just going to go nuts. So if you're driving in the car and you hear a thought, you'll get trained so well that you'll hear it before you even have to write it down. Now I drive in the car, I have it instantly, and then I'll immediately rectify it. So I'll be in a rush, and I know I have to quickly go buy stuff at Woolworths and pick up the kids, and I know, now you must see now if there's a queue. And I really need to get this stuff. I don't have time after I'm going to pick them up. And we'll see if I'm not going to find parking. You see, it's going to make me just like 5 minutes late here and there. If I notice it immediately, I go, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to have time to spare. I might lie initially to myself, but you know what? It works. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to find parking. And I promise you, it works. Not every time necessarily, but if you do it all the time, eventually it just becomes a habit. That before you think those thoughts, you're aware of it. Now that you know, you can't deny it. Then you're just stupid.
Can I fight that?
Keep doing it.
Can I fight that thing?
Please. I love that.
Just because saying to yourself, I am going to find a parking, there's going to be no queue, blah, blah, and then it happens. Then you can't find a parking and there's no queue. Then you have a thought that goes, I'm lying to myself. Then it happens again, and you keep on building this thing that says, I'm lying to myself constantly, so I might as well stop doing this. So that's my train of thought. The way that I look at it is more like something that's out of my control, and I cannot force myself upon it. I'm either going to make it to Willie's, or I'm going to have to stop at the 9 o'clock pick and pay.
Exactly.
You know, like you have to kind of also look at it realistically, because I'm all for manifesting and I'm all for all of this, but you also have to be realistic.
Absolutely.
Like, you cannot control everything.
Absolutely.
And I think the way that you then go, I can't control it, then you kind of release the responsibility of finding a parking.
Yeah.
Or making it on time.
Yes.
I actually think that because you're saying you can't control it, you are controlling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I control it.
I agree.
Yeah, because you can
That's
control
exactly what happens. But that is the thing. It's like when people are chaotic and anxious and in a panic, they can't make decisions. They can't have options. They can't come up with plan B and C. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So when you are calm in that state, you don't keep telling yourself, not going to find not going to be in time.
Yeah.
That's a state of panic. So I'll get to states as well of knowing what state you're in, because if you're not in a good state, you can't make a good decision. You won't find options.
Yeah.
You won't find plans easily. So by doing that and going, okay, so this might happen, then I have plan B and C and I'm okay with it. I'm not going to throw my toys, I'm going to shout at the car park guy taking his time. I'm going to go with plan B and C then. So if you're not just focused on this thing and it's your only resort, if you can't do that, life's over.
But that's the thing is we make little things like a life thing.
Yeah.
20 minutes late, just 20 minutes late, it's not a big deal. Why do you stress about it?
Exactly. And you live in Joburg,
and
you
then,
always...
you're always going to be late. So you should actually be
live in
used to it.
Africa also.
So sorry, that's my two
No, I like it. I want you guys to interact, by the way. That's exactly what he's saying now. That's where feedback comes in. So, if you bake a cake and it flops, doesn't mean you're a bad baker.
Change the recipe.
Or maybe you missed something. Maybe you were drinking wine while you're reading the recipe and you just missed baking powder or something. So you'll try it one more time. Bake that cake. Make sure don't drink wine, drink Milo or something. And then go through it. So if you meditate, the one who comes up with all the answers.
So
Yoga, anything like that? Yoga?
Sometimes.
I've tried it.
He's ons eie hippie. So seeing that Jan is the only one that meditates or ever has meditated, I'm going to tell you about something. Steffi might be gone for 10 days.
Ooh.
It's okay.
I'm trying.
So what I've explained thus far, I was exactly where you guys were really. It's like, what? No, you don't understand my life. Like seriously, it's good and well. I tried. But thrown between puke and a dirty nappy and like my, I don't know. Like when, how? My life was chaos, you can ask Chris. It was like, I think you need tablets. Maybe you've got postnatal depression or something. Something's wrong. So it was spinning out of control and I couldn't even hear myself think. I couldn't make plans, like literally stupid things. Felt like I had pudding brain because I just, never mind controlling my thoughts, I just didn't even it was crazy. Okay.
Sounds familiar.
It's insane, right? So my husband was even going, do you need help? Like, can you really go see someone? I'm like, do this myself. So this was before I found life coaching and NLP, and that's why I'm telling you guys that I believe in it like a pastor believes in the Bible or religion or whatever. This is my stuff. That's why I can go on about it and not be even, right? Because it really, literally changed my life and saved my life, basically. So before I found NLP and life coaching, I decided, okay, my youngest is 1.5. My eldest is, I have to do maths now. I think he was 3.5.
Yeah, it was 3.5.
Difference. And I was like, okay, I am not at my best right now. I was functioning like I think the world out there was amazing, always fun, always laughing, always joyful, but it was chaos in here. I was like, what? I can't hear myself think. I don't know what's going on. I can't make plans. Like I don't know if I'm going nuts. I even tried antidepressants for a week. I got an allergic reaction, and I'm so thankful for my body that told me that wasn't the problem. I just needed to shut down for a while and just breathe. So I survived a 10-day silent meditation retreat.
Wow.
And you've heard me blabber now, so silence to me doesn't come naturally. They all thought I was going to fail. Didn't. So, let me explain to you a bit more what a silent meditation retreat is. That's what I'm saying. You might just go or not. So, it's pretty much like rehab. So, you're handing your phone, you're handing your wallet. Now, remember, I have 2 kids and a husband at home. No contact with them, can't phone them, nothing. I knew this, thank God, so I videotaped the books that I read to them every night that Daddy can play.
Oh,
Kind of,
sweet.
So I tried. At least I wasn't too nuts. So, hand that in, can't have alcohol, which already there was a stretch for me.
That's a problem.
You can't eat meat, you can't smoke. That's what I'm saying, you might not. So, you live amongst other people, so the men and women are separated. They only see each other kind of in meditation hall, and there's like you just move somehow to the middle, boys, girls. And you live amongst these people. You have your own room, thank God, right? So you have your own room. Very primitive because it's free, these 10 days, by the way. You don't pay for a thing. It's all ran, it's like a nation base. So you live with these people, you eat with them, staring at a wall literally like this.
And it's vegetarian, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you stare at a wall and you wash dishes at the same basin, right off each other, without talking. You meditate right next to each other, no word, you pee, no word. Bathroom chats, not at all. Not just that.
People bathroom.
No, that's the weirdest thing.
They don't even try to do
No, because once you experience, you go, why do we talk? It's overrated, clearly. And I talk a lot.
I think which one?
What was it in?
This one was in Worcester.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's a Vipassana meditation center. My mom and my maid prayed the entire 10 days because they thought Buddha was going to take me over. They're very Christian. So I was like, I'm going to be fine. I know who I am. Well, at that time, my mind told me I didn't know, but I knew I was strong. So you have no eye contact as well. So even when you pass each other, you're not allowed to look at them. Not at all. Nothing. Because you're supposed to just be by yourself.
Yeah.
And sort yourself out. The first 3 days,
amongst people.
yes, you feel rude at first, and then it's liberating. You don't have to smile when you don't feel like it. You don't have to make small talk when their stories aren't
What do
interesting.
you do between the sun?
You walk in nature.
Can you sleep when you want to?
No.
I
You wake up with a gong at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're no alarm, you trust one person
I do it by myself.
to do the gong at the right time, so that you're on time. And you sleep at, I think it was 10 o'clock was lights out. But the weirdest thing is you're so refreshed, you have so much energy because you don't waste it.
And you sleep very well.
You sleep
Just
so well.
When you wake up, you're awake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where it clicked for me. Where I went, oh, okay. So I've been giving all my energy. I pride myself in my energy. Chris knows when I don't have energy, I don't have a personality. Very important for me. So I was giving all my energy to everyone, random people, strangers, because I need to be friendly. It's my mother brought me up that way. I have to be spontaneous. I have to talk to everyone. I was wasting my energy so much that I had nothing left for myself. But by the time I go to bed, I'm going, can this day just end? Okay, let's do it tomorrow again. And that is where I figured out the first 3 days were so hard. I wanted to kick trees. I was so angry, but you can't even swear at someone. I was like, what is this bullshit? I couldn't understand why we do this, but I did it myself, voluntary. But the rest of the days, on the 9th day, they surprised us and they broke the silence. Now I remember I haven't spoken to my kids for 9 days. I didn't want my phone back. I said, don't worry, they don't know that you broke the silence. Keep it. I'll get it tomorrow. I just wanted one more day of enjoying this because I knew when I come back to this chaos, I was so scared I was going to lose it. But thank God I brought some of it back. But that is how it married nicely with life coaching and NLP. So I first did the meditation camp and then I found NLP and it all just clicked. The acting, film industry thing, the meditation thing, and that's what I'm saying also, don't overcomplicate your life. It all happens for a reason. I mean, you studied nursing and now you're working here. So it's all for a reason. We all land up for a reason. Either stuff happens or it served us at some point and we decided to give up because it doesn't serve us anymore. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't serve me anymore. Move on. Don't hold on to it. Just move on. Life is not serious, actually. It's simple. My company name is Simply Excel, by the way. But yeah, it means simply become larger, bigger, better version of yourself. And it is simple. Don't complicate it. We are overcomplicating stuff and it's unnecessary. And that's why our thoughts are running crazy. And we can't even hear our own thoughts, our own core, our own soul. So we allow the world to tell us who we are, who we're supposed to be, how to achieve, what makes you worthy, what doesn't make you worthy. Who are they? They don't even know you. No one knows you. You know who you are. Hey?
I don't even know.
That's your responsibility.
Isn't that right? Okay, so you're going to find your spot again, right? I'm checking the time, I know Steph. I have a tendency to I don't mind. Sorry. Okay, so you're going to need a triangle, like I'm saying there. So you're not drawing it really, just your space. So you need a space here, one step forward, and then you're going to have one literally almost in the middle but to the side of that one. So it forms a triangle, right? Got it? I think I drew it well, right?
Got it.
So now look at this triangle. I just didn't know how to do the PowerPoint properly. So it's going to be a triangle like that. So you start here, there's a move right in front that I will guide you, not just going to move, and one on the side. So find your spot for me, please. And please take your books along. I should have probably said it before. You moved too far. Your book and a pen. Okay, and normally you do this with a life coach and you will verbalize during the technique. Obviously in group situations, and because I love going over time. Yeah, I do it in groups, but it works just as effectively. I've done it in a school with 300 students at the same time. Trust me, it works. Okay. So this is called the resource triangle. Okay? I'm not going to explain too much because then you're going to overthink it. You're going to analyze it. You're going to try and be adult about it. You don't need to know anything. I'll lead you through it. So the first position that you're at is the stuck state. And you did do your logical levels now to yourself. And I'm sure by this time you have figured out maybe an area in your life that you're stuck. It can be personal, or you don't know how to say no. Or it's a big decision about work, or marriage, or whatever it is. Whatever stuck state you find yourself in at the moment, I want you to just be aware of it. So once you've got that stuck state, to yourself in your head, or you can write it down, it might help to look back at it later. Write down what your stuck state is. Verbalize it, well, obviously not to me, but in your book, write it down because later you might forget. What is your stuck state? How do you feel in that stuck state? What do you see in that? Remember the senses? I said it's very important. And with all the NLP techniques, we use a lot of senses because that is what programs your subconscious mind. So in your stuck state, see what you see in a stuck state. Hear what you hear. Feel what you feel. Very importantly. If there are any smells or tastes involved, which doesn't really happen a lot, it's mainly your visual, auditory and kinesthetic, what you feel. Write it down or just take note of it. What your stuck state is. And what you're experiencing at the moment in that stuck state. And that you would like to change. Or better. Or improve. But you're not happy with at the moment. And you know it could be better. All got a stuck state? Anybody don't have a stuck state? Good. Okay. Now, not moving, very importantly, you're just going to visualize that area across, which is the desired state. And again, you can either just in your head do it for yourself or you can write it down. Desired state. What is it where you would like to be then, if not in this stuck state? What is the desired state if there were no limitations? You didn't need a budget or money or time or certain people or certain whatever limits you have been placing on yourself. Without limits, with a genie going, your wish is my command, that desired state. What do you want? Because a lot of us has forgotten what we want. And we think we want stuff which we don't want because we get influenced. So when you were a little girl or a little boy and you thought you were going to be Superman or fireman or whatever your dreams were, it doesn't have to be that, but I'm saying the way you believed as a child that I'm going to conquer this world, that desired state type of feeling. No limitations. Describe either in your head or visualize it or write it down. What does that desired state you look like? How do they act? How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they feel? What do they hear? What do they see? What do they experience in that desired state? And you can either go there because your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. And when you're done with your desired state, and you can take your time, this is your time. And some of you might move faster than others, don't worry about it. You're not going to be like society and in a box, doing it all the same time like sheep. So take your time, and if you are done already, with the time you have, just visualize it more, experience it more, go there. Imagine how it would be in that desired state. What would be different? All done with your desired states? If not, welcome to write more down. What you're going to do now is where you are standing, you're going to move now diagonally, if I'm using the right terminology, to the side, which is this spot, your resources. So as you're standing, move to the side, yes, your resources. Now you're going to all take your pen and book. This is where you really need to write. Going to serve a purpose. Now you're going to make a list of all the resources that you have been hiding under a bucket for so many years, either because of other people, yourself, events that happen, beliefs, your environment, because you know that you were born with those natural resources. And as a child, you thought you were awesome. And you knew you had all of those. You could literally do anything you want. But you've been hiding it under a bucket for some reason. And you allowed the world and yourself to believe that it's not a part of you. It's not your core, it's not your soul. It's not a natural resource. Those are the things you're writing down. And for those of you who are done with the list, go over your list again and see if there's more that you can add. Even if it's something that you don't feel you have right now, whether it's confidence, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's whatever it is, if there was one time in your life that you ever experienced that, that means it's a natural resource. You know how to do it, your subconscious knows how to do it, you have the capability of experiencing that resource and using it. So even if it's one time that you experience it, there's a reason why it's I am as well. I mean, a lot of people don't get the affirmation so well, but there's a reason for some of you that who are religious of any way, like, I mean, it doesn't have to be Christian or anything. They, like, God says I am the I am, basically. So I am is who you are, who He created you to be. And there's a reason why you say I am, because it's in your being, it's your makeup, it's who you were created to be. You were created to reach your potential, to find your purpose, and to live fully. You do not deserve to just exist. Live. So find those resources that you were born with, that you know is there, and that you have experienced. With your list that you have in front of you now, and you might not understand this, trust me, it is designed to be silly and stupid, because your subconscious mind is like a child. My children does this without asking questions, they just think it's a game. So be like a child in this moment, trust it, go with it, and just have faith with the process. If you are right-handed, use your left hand. If you are left-handed, use your right hand. So what I mean by that, you will hold your book in the hand that you write with. Okay? So if you write, hold your book with your right hand. The hand that you don't normally write with, that's the one you're going to use. And you're going to literally, like miming, like playing charades, playing games, you're literally going to take that resource off the piece of the paper and you're going to put it at your heart, your core, the soul, and you're going to open it. Release it, program, accept it. That is part of who you are, that's your makeup, that's your core, that's who you were designed to be. You might not understand what you're doing, trust me. Your subconscious mind knows what you're doing. So whenever you are ready, you are literally, with the hand that you don't write with, going to take each resource physically off the page and put it in your heart. So when you're ready, and take your time. You will find there are certain ones that you struggle to put in, or it's harder or more challenging to put in than the others. And you're finding it challenging to accept it, believe it, or remember that's who you are. And those ones you're welcome to put in 2, 3, 4 times, as many times as you feel needed, to program it back into your subconscious mind, where your inner child lives, and for you to draw from when you need it. So for those of you who are done, go through your list again, and if there are any of the resources that you feel you need to put in again, this is your time. We're going to have time like this again. It's going to be go time after this. And take that resource and put it in again. And as I said, I have a very dark sense of humor. And I remember the first time I did this, like, very airy, fairy bullshit. Trust me. I've done it so many times on myself. I've done it so many times on people, and it works. Your next move was the one that you saw initially, the one opposite, the desired state that you were describing to yourself. If there were no limitations. I would like you to take that book with your list of your resources and hug it into your chest. When you're ready, only if you're ready to accept it, you're making a commitment to yourself and your subconscious mind now without even realizing it. Trust me, I'm going to ask you to show up. Now, only when you're ready, I want you to move to that desired state, which was right to the front. Sideways, right to the front, where your desired one was initially, that you looked at. And I'm actually lying. Left to the front. Sorry, my triangle. Okay, so left to the front. So where you were initially stuck, and you envisioned desired. Only when you're ready, you can move to the desired state. Everybody at their desired state?
Yeah.
Good. Now what I would like you to do is just to observe how it feels, even if it's small. Remember, we're just waking up the subconscious mind that's been asleep for a long time. Even in a small way, if in your desired state, you feel like it's a bit more possible to reach that desired state, knowing that the resources you listed are a part of you, and with those resources, you might have a better chance of reaching your desired state. If you remember who you are, if you remember what your resources are, who you are at your core, just take note. Does it feel a bit more possible to reach that desired state? Drawing from your resources that you have. Because there might be one or two that you forgot about. Even if it's one or two. You just needed to remind yourself of that. I am that. Screw whoever said I'm not. Screw whoever let me down. Screw whoever thought that I couldn't do it, or it's not part of my personality. If you know who you are, and you know the resources that you have and that you're capable of, you can achieve anything. That is purely your decision. Now I want you to, in that moment, envision a week from now being faced with a situation where you would feel stuck again, similar to the stuck state you described initially. And if you remember these resources again, you draw from that. I just want you to envision whether you might handle the situation differently. Whether maybe you might remember that one resource or two or three that you now listed again and reminded yourself of, to act better in that moment, in a way that will serve your desired state more, because nobody likes to be stuck. And as long as you know how to move forward, even if it's one small step, even if it's one thought that you check or monitor or are aware of, you are closer than what you were yesterday. And that's all you need to do. Just take note of this and how it will affect future decisions. And if you do this often, and if you go over your resources list and you anchor it, which I will briefly explain to you now, but anchor it and make it almost like your affirmations that are true to you. Not only Robin's stuff, not Robin Banks, yours. And you remind yourself as much as you can when you sit on the toilet, when you brush your teeth, when you're driving in the car, just reminding yourself with these resources that is believable, and you know you've experienced it, and you affirm that whenever you can. Just think how that might change your life just a little bit and make it better than what it is right now. Good? Good. Okay, you can take your seat. Thank you.